Let's go to Mike in New Jersey.
Hey, guys. How you doing, man? Great show. Hey, I just want to talk to you a little bit. And two points here. The first, the Yankees controlled Ramirez, and they're going to have to do the same thing with Ohtani, and that matters about, walking him and stuff like that. And obviously, Betts is a guy that I worry about a little more than Ohtani. So those are just 2 points I wanted to make. And then I went to the game, the last series of the season against the Pirates, and I paid $158 to sit in section 213 for 4 seats, $158 a piece.
This is for the last series of the year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I went online yesterday to look at the seats. They were $1,975.
Is that sold by the Yankees, or is that a secondary market?
No, that's through StubHub.
Well, then it's not the Yankees. The Yankees can't control that.
$176.
I know. And
I just thought it was outrageous.
But how is it outrageous if somebody pays for it?
And I went to 7. Well, that's my point.
Yeah.
Who's paying for that? I was there 7. I went to 17 games this season, and I went to that game last series of the season against the Pirates. And I'm like, I'll go look at a couple of tickets here, and $2,000 a ticket. I just wanted your opinion about that.
Well, it's awful, Mike, but it would be criminal. And by the way, Major League Baseball sets the prices for the postseason, so you can't blame the Yankees or the Dodgers. Everybody's jumping on that. How much money? It's secondary market. The secondary market is going to charge as much as the market will bear. And I guarantee you this, if you wait outside Yankee Stadium before Game 3, and it's like 8:03, and there's still tickets available, you'll get in for a lot less money.
Supply and demand, my friend, supply and demand. And you know what? There's a lot of people with money in this area. Los Angeles, too. Now, would they be able to get those prices in Milwaukee, in Kansas City? Probably not. But in New York, Los Angeles, you got a lot of heavy hitters, Michael, that'll pay a lot of money. And in the secondary market, that's where they'll get those tickets. So believe me, they're asking for that because they think they can get it. And you're right. Day of the game, if the price goes down, that means they're not getting it. But I have a feeling there's a lot of people. There's have and have-nots all over the world, right? But especially in the big cities. There's a lot of people that are living paycheck to paycheck, and there's a lot of people that, light cigars with $100 bills.
Well, for secondary market, for the whole series, Yankees and Dodgers, secondary market, prices starting at $1,000 for the tickets in the upper deck. Yeah, it's awful. So the average Joe is not going to be able to go. They're going to have to. They're not going to miss a car payment probably.
Check out the Garden for the NBA Finals or the Stanley Cup Final.
Of course.
You see how difficult was it to get in the MetLife Stadium for the Super Bowl?
And our caller just now, he's comparing the World Series to the final series against the Pirates. I'm sorry. It's supply and demand.
It's a bit different.
It is amazing how there's no way that the ticket prices have matched the inflation.
No.
Like
ticket prices are madness.
Yeah, Anthony, we had E.J. Raddick on the podcast today, and he's a big Yankee fan, and
They're great.
He was angling for tickets. I don't blame him, but he went to all those games in the 70s. What did he say he paid for, like, the 77 World Series to sit in the bleachers? It's like, for a World Series game, it was like $20. Like
it was something ridiculous.
Something ridiculous, right? And you can't tell me that in those 45 years, Michael, 50 years, whatever, coming up on, that it's gone that crazy. But, that's just the way it goes now. There's a lot of people with money that are willing to spend
You
that.
cannot believe, and I'm not knocking anybody who did it, how many people, friends of mine, texted me just casually today, I'd like to get a couple of tickets to the World Series. Yeah, like 12 years ago, I would have liked to have dated Jennifer Aniston. It's just not happening. I don't have access to World Series tickets.
I don't think there's anything wrong
with asking.
Is there a way that I could pay for tickets?
No, but I disagree.
No, but I know. I know what you're. No. I know.
I'm trying to think it through because the World Series is different. Well, people would be willing to pay.
When somebody says to me, Don, can you get Ranger Duck tickets on Saturday? I'll pay for them. That's a nice way of saying I want them for free.
Right.
But when you're asking for World Series tickets and are willing to pay, then I believe it, because you can't actually have the audacity to think you're going to get into the building for free to a World Series game, Yankees-Dodgers. But maybe they're just looking, hey, Michael, do you have any access to where I could pay?
Well, for those friends that have not hit me up today, and those that might be listening, I have no access to tickets. Zero. None. No access.
That includes present company?
Yeah.
Because Marco's never been to
I have no access to tickets.
None. They take away all your.
Well, no. The ticket. I mean, I get.
You have your personal.
I have personal ticket, but not during the postseason.
But you have your personal ones during the postseason.
They shut you down in the postseason. Those animals.
You have even the players don't get their free tickets in the postseason.
So you have to buy.
I have not been offered a chance to buy.
So if Judge walks in and says, "I've got my aunt from Nova Scotia," just happens to be in the area,
right?
I didn't expect it, and she just needs one ticket. Can we help her out? The Yankees said, "I'm sorry."
Of course the Yankees will say yes, but they'll give him an invoice.
We'll run by a trade. We'll check in with you for a possible trade, but you need a ticket.
No, they can't give him a free ticket because it's run by Major League Baseball and it goes toward.
It's Yankees or Major League Baseball.
And are you going to let me talk, or are you just going to keep? Anyway, Anthony in the car. Anthony.
Hey, fellas, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Great. Before I compare the Yankees to my Giants, did you hear how upset Peter just got when Don said people are offering to pay for tickets for the World Series? He just wants them given to him.
Of course I do. Are you crazy? You know how expensive these tickets are?
I'll tell you what, Anthony, he's not getting free tickets for this.
Wild. But why would anybody pay for a ticket when the experience on TV is so good?
Well, I will tell you this. I think in football you'd be crazy because the experience is much better on TV. But there's something to be said for being there, the excitement, the exhilaration, all that. I guess that's why you do it.
I agree with you. I agree. Now, usually you don't say this is going to win Point God before Point God, but I think I got Point God today.
All right. Let's go.
Think about. I'm 32. I'm a Yankee fan. I'm not going to say it, but I'm 32 years old, and I'm also a Giant fan. What's the biggest difference between the Giants and the Yankees? Is consistency. Culture. A culture built around consistently good teams is a winning recipe. Brian Cashman consistently has the Yankees in playoff contention and even in World Series contention, even if they don't make it as far as they should. The Giants, it's so inconsistent.
But they're not really, Anthony. They're not inconsistent. I mean, Jerry Reeves was a GM for a long time. Jerry Reese.
But they've been inconsistent as far as, they win a couple of Super Bowls, but they've also had awful seasons like mixed in. And now it's been over a decade without a championship or really even close to one. But I think it's harder to win, Michael, in football. Baseball, they do have restrictions financially, but there's no cap. So they can exceed over other franchises financially. So there's an advantage I think the Yankees have over other teams that the Giants don't have over other teams. And it's also quarterback specific. Like, you need certain things in baseball, Michael, but you can win different ways. You don't have a quarterback, you're not winning. Giants had Eli Manning. There was consistency until he got a little too old, and then it kind of fell apart. And since they haven't had a quarterback, they haven't won. Jets haven't had a quarterback; they haven't won. Kansas City's got their quarterback. Guess what? They're a perennial winner. Patriots got Tom Brady; they're a perennial winner. But it's hard to get that quarterback. So I think it's a lot harder to win in football than baseball because Yankees know, Michael, from a financial standpoint, that it's very hard to believe that it's ever going to bottom out for them.
It hasn't for a long time. Last year was the bottom out, and they were 82-80. Let's go to James in Westchester. James.
Hey, Mike, Don, Peter, how are we today?
Hey, friend.
Just wanted a little nugget about Yankees playoff tickets, stuff like that. So we got a group of buddies. We called the rep pre-Cleveland series. As Yankee fans, we expected to get by that series. We had about 10 of us. So we had to put down a $200 deposit each. And then if they didn't make it, we got 2 games next year. But since they did make it, we pay face value for the tickets. We're paying about $400 a pop to sit in the 400s. So there's ways around it. I feel like Yankees reps are emailing you all the time.
No, that's being proactive.
And it's paying attention. Although I got to tell you, 400 to sit in the 400s, whoa.
And that's Major League Baseball, and obviously they're able to get it. Michael, that seems a lot for. I know it's a World Series game, but that's
it's still
face
filth.
Value. That's a lot. I get secondary market, Peter. That it's going to go as high as it's going to go. It's like bidding on a work of art.
But it's funny though. We all hold baseball to a different standard. What was the year that we were there? Giants Patriots, Don?
Oh, that was that was.
Was that 7 or 11?
That was February of 2008.
Okay. A face value ticket to the Super Bowl was $2,000. Nobody says a word.
Right.
You get into Yankee Stadium for $400 and you're going to freak out and say it's too much?
Wait. Who are you saying doesn't say a word about the Super Bowl? The Super Bowl's gotten so exclusive you can't even go.
I understand, but people just throw up their hands and accept it. All right, let's say the Rangers or the Knicks go to the finals. What do you think the tickets are going to cost?
Hold on. There's two different things going on here. The Super Bowl is a neutral site game. It's not at your stadium down the street from you.
Only a certain allotment of tickets are available to each of the two teams.
Right. So it's not even based on that, and everyone kind of knows that. But I think people are disgusted by the Super Bowl and don't even think about it as an option in their life. I think when it's a local team playing a handful of games in their town, people think, oh, maybe I could go to this.
Right.
So it hits different.
Yeah, I mean, and those were sweet tickets that were supposed to be for Tom Cruise and. Who was he going out with at the time?
No.
It's his daughter.
Katie Holmes.
Katie Holmes, where money is of no substance. And it's one game as opposed to a possible 3 games at Yankee Stadium. I don't know. It seems like a lot of money. Obviously, Major League Baseball is going to get it. There's not going to be an empty seat. Wow, that's a lot of money for face value, but
okay. Again, I'm not defending it, okay, because I wouldn't be able to go. I never went to a World Series game in 77, 78, 77. I didn't have the money. I was 15, 16, 17. But go to a Broadway show. How much do you think that costs?
Oh, it's ridiculous. But nobody roots for a Broadway show.
Correct.
So there is
people root for Hamilton against Burr.
But I guess here's the thing. I mean, obviously arena sports are different because you're only talking about 18, 19,000 people. We're talking about Yankee Stadium holds 55,000 people.
No, 48 now.
48,000 people are going to, as opposed to that 30,000 less than that to get into Madison Square Garden. And, you're a guy that goes to regular season games and you're paying your $98, your $100, whatever it is. And then when you see that go up, tenfold on face value, baseball was always supposed to be the common man sport, right? There's not going to be 48,000 pretty people at Yankee Stadium. There's going to be some people. There's going to be some guys from the new Fox sitcom that'll be sitting behind home plate, or the dugout or whatever. But, Michael, the idea is there's going to be at least 45, 46,000 diehard Yankee fans in that building to see a World Series game. And it seems disproportionate. And it's not. It doesn't feel right.
Peter,
it's not right in the other sports, but it just hits a little different for baseball.
Well, Peter, can you check it out? What does a ticket in the 400 level cost during the regular season? I bet you it's $200.
I don't know. I don't know how to check for that right now.
All right, while you're not checking, let's go to Mark in Staten Island.
400 level. What level were your tickets, Michael?
When? 200.
200, 400. He said.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much.
He paid 400 for the 400
level.
They're not $400.
No, but what are they?
No, $30?
No.
Yes. They're still cheap.
You could get certain games for $30 up there.
I guarantee you, if you stand outside Yankee Stadium and wait for the first inning to start, you can get in that stadium for 2 digits. $50, $80, $90.
Wait, what do you mean, at the World Series? Yeah. Oh, once the
game begins.
No, that's worth it, isn't it?
I would think so.
But it's just a gamble, and you're doing it. You're bringing your kids out there, and you're standing outside, hoping you get in the game.